Hey, I'll be playing the very first tutorial called Castaways. You can view this as a kind of a reference in case you get stuck during the tutorial, or you can use it as some extra information about how to play the game, because I'm going to be adding some extra information along the way. I'm not going to be reading all of the story stuff, because then the video becomes too long. So here are our stranded sailors. Let's see what they have to say. Talking about the bad weather that caused them to get stranded here. And now we got the first objective. Click the guide button. That's easy. Just click here. And it talks about action zones. You define a zone like this, and then you hover on new, and then you can select from this menu of actions. And you can see archived messages by clicking here, in case you need to go back. And now we already got our next objective, scout. Scout the area north of the wreck. Let's have a look. Scout the area north of the wreck by dragging a zone like this and clicking here. And then it says pause on pause by clicking P or space, like that. How do I navigate the map? Let's see. Hold and drag the right mouse button to navigate around the map, like this. Salvage wreck. Salvage the boat wreck for useful materials. And we're gonna make a rope bridge from some of this rigging by clicking here, click, and then salvage. And then it says you can speed up time by clicking here, for example. That's fast. I don't want it to be too fast though. He's already done. Build rope bridge. How to do that? Well, that looks easy. You just click on gorge and then click begin. Hide menus and icons by right clicking on the game area, like this. Display them again by left clicking. Then this will appear. This basically always shows what is in your zone, or in case you've selected an entity, then it will show that entity data. But you also have this button actually where you can switch between an entity and a zone. You can have a zone and an entity selected at the same time, and these buttons switch between those. That can be handy sometimes. Done. Who's first? Examine firegrass to find food. Drag a zone as indicated in the image. That's north of this gorge. Examine, like that. A camp member will then examine the area for hidden resources such as food. If you suspect that some resources may have been missed, you can make a new zone and select examine again. But he's already found one here, and then it will appear. Gather 3 common oil tubers. Let's see how to do that. Drag a zone in the area where common oil tubers were found. I'm gonna let you in on a secret here that you can reuse an existing zone. As long as he's not done yet, you can just pause and then reuse it, so you don't get it's just I like it. It's nice and neat just to have a few zones as possible. So now this zone is being used for more than one thing, and you can keep adding activities to a zone just by clicking here. You can also go in and modify your existing orders, you can see. So, but no need to do that for now. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna find everything we need. You can also just select the zone and then now we got items. It will list everything which is appearing. have a look here and see how it's being produced. Now they're done, and they say let's move camp to the firegrass patch. The firegrass patch is this orange patch of grass. Move camp. You'll notice that they carried all the food down here. That's because they got the camp here. So we don't want to sleep on that beach. So we're gonna move up now. And that's what this objective is about. And the hint says that moving your camp to an area with resources means you spend less time hauling. And that's true. The closer you are to the resources you need, the less time they need to carry stuff to your camp. So I'm going to speed up now. Just use this button. Gather materials. Now we want to make a campfire. 3 firewood and 1 stone. Drag a zone in the area like that, and then click gather. 3 firewood and have 1 stone like that, and you will see that they all get started. This game is all about indirect control, and you don't command your individual camp members or colonists. Instead, you give orders to the whole colony, and they will figure out who will do that task. So this is what this tutorial is about. And then getting the basics, like how to find food, how to prepare food. Food is kind of like at the foundation of the game, so it's pretty important. Build a fireplace. Open the production manager. This button. Find campfire and click build. Now it says expand storage and production, and we got our button here. So I'll just make room for that. Actually, I'm gonna right click because there's an image here that says where to put it. So let's have a look at that. It looks like it's somewhere here, right? Yeah, that button will show where you can place a structure. Yeah, and meanwhile, let's have a look here. You can see these are the things that are at the moment exist in our world. Some of them we own, some of them we don't own, some of them we can. Now we can make some food here actually. Make 3 mashed oil tubers. That's food in case you are in doubt. Open the production manager. Well, it's this button, we already got it open. Open the prepared food section. Yeah, you can switch back and forth between category and ordinary view, list view like this. So, but let's have a look here. It says mashed oil tubers, and then we're gonna order 3 like it says. Alright, while they get started, it says monitor tasks by opening the task manager. Here you'll see for each task listed, you can get more information. So if you just expand all of them, you can see who started on this. One of them has been started by Terran, and you can see what tools are being used: cooking pot and a campfire. Cooking pot, and so now we got a progress bar halfway there. You will also get that progress bar out here. It's already done with the first one. I'll just get... Yeah, this is a reason why sometimes it's good to have more than one campfire. But I think with just these 3 guys it should be okay just to have one. Next, now that they have food on the way, they want to look for trees so that they can build a signal pyre. So we're going to use Scout and see if we can find some trees. How do we do that? We look here. It says make a scout zone as shown in the image. Right here north of the creek. Scout like that. Let's see what he finds. It says once the zone disappears, make another scout zone further north, then another until the area is fully scouted. You can also see here. Okay, he found something. Bush dragon. Cancel all action zones. Click here, click on the trash can, and then you should return. Many zones can also be cancelled in the task manager. We'll have a look at that later. Alright. They have a little meeting here and they decide that they're going to take these dangerous animals on by making 3 flint-tipped spears. So how do we get started on that? To make spears you need flint and water cane stems. Locate water cane and make a gather zone. Drag the slider to order 3 times water cane stems. I'm just gonna make a zone here and then see if there's any water cane in the zone. Yes, water cane stem. There are 3. I'm gonna let you in on a secret here. You can click here and then you can see what it can be used for. Like that. It can be used for a lot of stuff, but this is not part of the tutorial, obviously. So let's just get those 3. Click OK. Locate flint. Make a gather zone and drag the slider to order 3 flint. I'm just going to reuse this zone and see if there's flint in the zone. Yes, there are actually. There should be more than enough here. 7. So let's get 3 of those. Let's have a look here. See. Gather materials. Tools owned but currently in use. They're sharing their knife. If you click on this. Yeah. That's something you'll learn later, that it's always good to have more than one tool. They should have enough tools for everyone so that everything becomes a lot more efficient. Looks like they're done. Now we got material so we can make 3 flint spears. Gonna close the old window here. In the production manager, open the tools section. Actually, this was recently changed. I'm gonna change this. They moved to the weapons category. So we're gonna find them here. Drag the slider that is next to the word spear flint tipped order 3, like that. And meanwhile, we can have a look at opening the pop-up. It says click the pin button, this one. That means it stays open when I right click. I like to place it here just to keep it in view. This way I can keep an eye on progress. Look, you can see that they're being produced here. You can see that we got 1 on the way, and we still have 0 in stock, and then we got 2 extra have been ordered. It takes time to make flint tools. That's true. So I'm going to click here, 4x. You can also click on the data sheet. This is important to know, that you can switch between crafting information and data. Data is stuff like how efficient is this web burn, how long does it last, all kinds of information like this. And this is strictly production. How is it made and what is it used for? Can be used for gathering these fish, for example. And you can also expand this. Okay, now we got spears, so we can go and have a look and see if we can find those bush dragons again, so we can take them on. Make a scout zone as indicated in the image. I think this area is, because you got the cane here, so I'm gonna make the zone here. Click scout. Just gonna speed up. Now he will take a spear with him. This is something that they will always do. They will try to bring some kind of weapon to defend themselves. He has spotted the bush dragons. Kill the 3 bush dragons. How do we do that? Attack the bush dragons by dragging a zone. 10 by 10, more or less. Then select attack. Then we select the number of attackers. Well, we are 3 people, so I'm gonna set that to 3. And this instructs all our 3 brave people to pick up a weapon and go and attack whatever dangerous animal they find. So let's see what happens. Here we got 3. Yeah. Pretty good. They did it. They killed 3 of them. So, success. Move camp to the glade and build a signal pyre. Now, we already know how to move a camp. We're gonna click here, click move camp, and then click up here. That's what it is. And actually we should delete this zone now, because you can see they're still active. They're looking for if there's any remaining threats, but we know that they are not coming, that no more bush dragons are coming, so we can cancel it. So he's gonna go and get the pot and whatever else they have in their little camp. And the rest, they can get started and gather 3 times firewood and 1 times book branch. 3 and 1, like that. Now it says reopen the gather window. Click the word spoke branches. Now display production info. Scroll down to see the section called used in. Find signal pyre. This is what we're building. Pin the pop-up. So I'm clicking this button. Now we can keep an eye on this thing that we're building. And we can see what is needed to build it. Currently we still need we need one branch. So we're waiting for them to produce that. And tools owned but currently in use. It's also idling. Here's the knife. I'm gonna speed up now, just so he can get done. Yep, he got started. Alright, so now you can see the hammer button has appeared and we can place this signal pyre. I'm gonna put it right there. Let's have a look at who's doing it. Scoip. It's finished. That was quick. Yep, let's light it. Click the arrow and select begin. And then it says another way you can select an entity is by doing this, where you cycle within a zone. This is sometimes useful. Now they got it. Now they're yelling, so and the smoke is rising. And that should be the end of the... What is that out there? You think we've been found? No, not a boat. Sure hope we don't have to wait too long. Yeah, that's the end of the tutorial. So I'm just gonna click exit scenario. Not much happens if you click continue playing, but you can do it if you want to fool around, but it's not that interesting. The following scenarios are more interesting, so I'm just gonna end it here. And there's a little story here. So that was the end of that. I hope this helped in case you were stuck on the tutorial. Talk to you soon.